All right, nobody's a fan of word problems, including myself. But there are nasty word problems, and then there are easier word problems. And I think this falls into the latter. So we're going to use proportions to solve some word problems. It's pretty simple, so let's take a look. The idea here is that a proportion is a ratio. It's this to this equals this to this. So we have to keep it in proportion. If that doesn't make sense, let me get you started here. So what they're telling us here is it's 5 millimeters for every 25 pounds. That's a fraction, but it's going to be used to, so here it is. This is what we're looking for. Milliliters to pounds equals milliliters to pounds. So we're going to know one of the ratios, but the one on the other side, there's an I don't know involved. And the only thing that you've got to make sure you do is make sure you match up the pounds and pounds and milliliters. Don't flip it, or else you're not going to get the right answer. So they're telling us here we've got 5 to 25. Now Zoe weighs 80. Well, that's her pounds. But what we don't know is how much of this acetaminophen is Tylenol, how much we're supposed to give her. Now, you have it set up in the same ratio. You got milliliters to milliliters, pounds to pounds. All you got to do is what we did last time. We're going to solve by lassoing, and we'll solve for A. So I've got 25A equals, oh, that's an easy one. Sorry, should have known that. Okay, we're going to divide both sides by 25. Okay, now this is a word problem. So she needs 16 milliliters, and you could go on to say of acetaminophen. All right, now let's try one if you want to, or I'll do it here. We're going to do milliliters to pounds. So here's what I know. It's 5 milliliters to 25 pounds. So on the other side, we've got to set up the same ratio. Okay, I don't know the milliliters, but I do. Well, why am I doing A? They did A on the other one. I'm going to make that X. Now I've got to start over. Okay, so make sure I've got the milliliters to milliliters. I've got pounds to pounds. Now let's lasso. I'm doing 25x. Remember, I'm doing the diagonals. Okay, now we're dividing both sides by 25. Now it's a word problem, so this is 12 milliliters of the acetaminophen. All right, I'm sure these are going to get harder, but let's keep going here. So we're setting up that proportion that we know. So it's milligrams to 1 kilogram. I don't even know. The story doesn't really matter. I found, so if you want to, so come over here and say you're doing milligrams to kilograms so you don't mess this up. Now on the back end, they gave us the kilograms, so that must be on the bottom. So they gave me the one ratio. Now I'm going to set up the other. I'm just going to make sure I matched it. 12 was kilograms. It's going to be on the bottom. I lasso here. Okay, 180. And that was on the top, so it is 180 milligrams. All right, same thing. I'm assuming that what they're doing here is they're going to, so I'm going to do ounces over calories. So ounces on top, calories on the bottom. I've got a whole ratio set up. So let's go to the other side. So this is helpful because it does get confusing. I'm looking for a trick. Yeah, it is a little tricky. They've got the I don't know on the bottom. That's all that's changed. Okay, so we lasso here. I've got 16x equals, divide both sides by 16. All right, and this was on the bottom, so this is calories. All right, so we've got ounces to calories again. It doesn't matter which one goes on top and which goes on the bottom, really, as long as you're consistent. You could have done calories over ounces. As long as you're consistent, it's going to work out. Now on this other side, Now this is helping me, so I do recommend it. So I've got ounces over there, so I'm doing 12. And I'm looking for calories. So now I'm just dividing diagonally. Now divide both sides by 22. Oh, do I get a fraction? Let me double check this, make sure I did it right. I think I did, but yeah, I guess it's just a fraction. So, oh yeah, it says rounded here. So I got 463.636. They want the nearest whole number, so that would take me up to the next one. So 464. And looking at what I was solving for, that was calories. Okay, so I'm going to do calories to pieces. Again, as long as you're consistent, it won't change anything. So they told me I got 160 calories for 8 pieces, and she wants 100 calories. How many pieces is that going to be? Okay, now we lasso. 160x equals 800. Is that going to divide evenly? It sure is. So 5 pieces. All right, so we've got pesos to dollars. Okay, just looking for the ratio. So I've got 12.54 pesos to $1. And so just use your little chart over here. They gave me dollars. I'm looking for pesos. Lasso. Now this is money. Well, you know, my symbol might be wrong because this is pesos. So, all right. Sorry, just checking what we're doing. This is all the same here, but I'll do these last ones if you want to see it, or pause it if you want to try. So what are we doing? We are doing euros to dollars. So 0.738 euros is $1. Okay, so just be careful where it is. Use your chart. They gave me dollars, and we want euros. So let's lasso. I get x equals 800 times 0.738. Okay, now the monies have different symbols. I don't know what the symbol is for a euro, but I'll just throw euros on the back of there. Okay, same thing once again. Okay, so, well, I think I should do yen to dollars. It doesn't matter, but I think the way the numbers are set up. Okay, so I've got 94.1 yen to $1. Now I've got 600 US dollars, so that's dollars, so that's on the bottom, and I don't know how many yen that is. So let's lasso. 1x times x is just x, and then 94.1 times 600. Okay, and that's how many yen I would have. Okay, I hope you find that pretty simple. We're just using proportions to help us solve these word problems, but they're pretty basic. Just be consistent. Make your little dictionary on the side that tells you what you have over what. Set up a ratio. Just make sure you match on both sides, or else you'll make a mistake.